Hey guys, what's going on? Rico Garcia here, founder of EcoTech Pro, and in today's video we're going to be talking about if you're going to be going on vacation, whether or not you should be turning off your AC, and if you choose to turn off your AC, what kind of problems that may cause when you get back from a relaxing vacation. So make sure that you stick around for this video. All right, guys, so today what we're going to talk about is ACs. Now, again, we get a lot of calls from customers that, again, we're located here in Florida, so there's a lot of what we call snowbirds, right, that live in New York and then they come down. And what ends up happening a lot of times is a lot of these individuals that come from New York down to Florida, they find their homes riddled with mold when they come back. And this is actually something that's very, very common. And some other individuals that we have as clients over the years have been just simply gone away on vacation for about a week and a half, and then come back to a house that's filled with surface mold. And they're always trying to figure out, well, why did this happen to begin with? And in the majority of cases, right, it's mainly boils down to the AC. You got to understand an AC, an air conditioning unit, really acts not only to cool the home, but what it also does, it acts as a dehumidification device. So it pulls the humidity out of the home. So of course, a lot of people think that they want to save a few pennies on, their electric bill, in which case that's fine. But sometimes what they do is they raise the temperature so much because they figured, hey, look, we're not going to be here, so why should we, cool an empty home? And even though that makes sense logically, the problem is whether or not there's too much humidity that could potentially build up in your property if the temperature is too high. So if you live in a place like Florida where it's extremely humid, you know that if you've got the inside temperature set at 80, 85 degrees, the likelihood is that the humidity, or what's called the relative humidity inside of the property, is going to be probably a lot higher than 60% relative humidity. Now, once the humidity level reaches 60, 65 or higher, you are definitely in the running and have a good possibility of actually developing surface mold throughout the property. So the question is, if you're going to go on vacation, or if you are going up north, to go ahead and stay and, live there for a couple of months, should you turn off the AC? The simple answer is absolutely not. What you could do is one of two things. A, set the thermostat at a temperature that's somewhat appropriate right now. And if you talk to 100 different people, they're going to give you 100 different numbers, right? But typically what I would recommend is right around 78 degrees should be just fine, right? 76 to 78 degrees. And again, there's a lot of different numbers out there, and it all depends on what you choose and what you find to be a good fit for you. But however, 76, 78 degrees as a general rule of thumb actually works pretty well. Your other alternative is to actually have what's called a Humidityistat installed, or some of the newer thermostats already have a Humidityistat already programmed in. And what the Humiditystat's going to allow you to do is it's going to basically act the same way as the thermostat, right? The only difference is it's only going to turn on your AC when the humidity reaches a certain level, as opposed to the thermostat is going to turn on the AC when you hit, let's say, 80 degrees, but you have it set at 79, right? So that's going to be the only difference. So what that will do is it will give you the ability to walk away, set your thermostat at whatever it is that you want to set it at, let's say 79, 80 degrees for whatever reason. And if, just in case that the humidity in the house starts to rise, the AC system will do, what the Humiditystat will do, it will turn on your AC system and go ahead and start cooling it down, but mainly for the reason of pulling out the humidity out of the air. Now, that is a very small investment that you can make in case you're going to go on vacation, or more importantly, if you're going to have some extended stays elsewhere. And this is a way for you to go ahead and make sure that you're not going to come back to a home that had a spike in humidity and the AC wasn't running, right? So what I always recommend is, whatever the scenario is, keep the AC unit on, and either A, keep it at a good temperature, decent temperature, somewhere between 76 to 78, or just get a humidistat installed that's going to help mitigate some of those scenarios. Another thing that a lot of people take for granted is, look, anything that can go wrong in a home typically happens when people go on vacation and they come back to 3, 4, 5 inches of water, right? So, if you're going to be away from your property for, a week or 2 weeks, and if you have someone available, have them come by, pop their head in, right? Nothing is ever going to beat having human eyes on a property, right? So many calls that we get, it's actually quite ironic that water heaters always seem to break when people are getting back from vacation. So stuff like this happens, and it's probably going to continue to happen due to Murphy's Law. But as a general rule of thumb, if you have someone that's available, have them pop their head in the property, right, every once in a while, and make sure that the AC is functioning properly. Make sure that the AC lines aren't clogged, or that the AC is freezing, that the coils are freezing, because any one of these scenarios can cause the AC to not function properly and to do part of its job, which is to pull the humidity out of the living space, and in turn you could walk back into the property and have a mold situation on your hands. So always make sure that you take those precautions, whether it's setting the temperature, installing a humidistat, or having someone that you trust come while you're away to do just a quick visual inspection of what's going on, and that should mitigate most issues moving forward. So I hope that you found some value in this video. If you did, do me a favor, go ahead and hit the thumbs up button, subscribe, share, comment. And again, if you have any questions or any concerns, or if we could ever be of service to you moving forward, definitely feel free to reach out to us, and I'll be more than happy to answer any of your questions. Bye.